Hello everybody, this is Coach Dave Reinecke with Aesthetics Training and Nutrition. Here to talk to you guys about another supplement in a new supplement series that I'm going to be putting out. Last time we talked about glutamine, today we're going to talk about L-Lysine, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. Alright everybody, so as you heard from the intro, we're going to talk about a supplement called L-Lysine. So I don't know if you guys can see that there, L-Lysine. You can get this in a bulk powder just like the L-glutamine that we talked about last time. But L-Lysine does have some different benefits that just might not really be known to the general public. Before recently, I never really heard too much information about L-Lysine. I knew it was an amino acid, but really hearing about it or seeing it as a bulk product, I never really saw. So me, particularly dealing with a rehabilitative clientele, people that are suffering from injuries, disabilities, or suffering from osteoporosis or other bone and joint related problems, I kind of struck an interest in reading more about L-Lysine. So as on the whiteboard, I'm sorry if you guys can't see it or the glare from the light, but some touching points with L-Lysine. It is an essential amino acid. So what that really means is you cannot get it from your, from the body itself. The body cannot produce it on its own. So you do have to either supplement with it or get it from your diet. I do recommend to just about everybody that I work with, get it from your diet first. And if you can't do that for any particular reason, then definitely supplement with it. So I get it in a bulk powder just because I don't eat a lot of dairy. I do eat legumes and fish and meat and some other products like that. But when I can supplement with it on a daily basis or on a every so often basis when I feel that I need it, then I don't have to worry about having these foods on hand. But say that you are lactose intolerant, or you don't eat fish, or you don't eat meat because you're a vegan, or you have some other sort of reason why you can't get it from your food, then definitely you can supplement with it. So it's an essential amino acid. The body cannot break it or cannot produce it on its own. Supplement with it or get it from your food. So key roles here that L-Lysine is going to have, being that it is an amino acid, it is a building block of all other proteins inside the body, and that is crucial. Amino acids are the building blocks of muscle and then of other cells throughout the body. Particularly when it comes to my interest in it, I like the calcium absorptive properties of L-Lysine. So when you're dealing with somebody that is osteoporotic or has osteopenia, or some other bone and joint related problem, their collagen is not forming properly. They do suffer from, like I said, osteoporosis or osteopenia, which is brittle bones or narrowing of the bone. Then increasing the calcium absorption from the food that somebody is taking in can help with that. Other people that have some other metabolic disorders where they are nutrient deficient or their gut lining is not very up to par, watch the glutamine video to learn more about the health of your gut. But like I said, L-Lysine can help in the absorptive properties of calcium. It can also help with the conservation. So your body's not going to excrete it as quickly if L-Lysine is present inside the body. Recovery from surgery or from injury, so the same sort of rules apply when the body is at that it is at that state where it is vulnerable to breaking down a little bit easier. The immune system is kind of not where it needs to be. Then supplementing or getting more food that does contain L-Lysine can have that benefit as well in repairing and regrowing a lot of those injuries or a lot of those tissues that are that have been cut through or broken or have been surgically repaired. It does help produce other hormones, enzymes, and antibodies. So antibodies basically will help clear out a lot of the junk that's within the body, keeps it at a state of where it's healthy. Enzymes drive a lot of other cellular processes. A lot of other hormones are actually produced from a lot of the enzymatic reactions. Lysine increases calcium absorption, like I said. It may reduce excretion, and just to reiterate, it does play a role in the prevention and treatment of osteoporosis. So instead of taking a calcium pill, that's great and everything, get it from your food if you can, and then supplement with L-Lysine as well. So it is not calcium. L-Lysine is not that nutrient, but it does have those properties to increase the absorption and reduce the excretion of that nutrient. Sources, like I said, it is a supplement, or you can get it from your food. Brewer's yeast, so beer bread, beer, any kind of brewer's yeast product, legumes, dairy, fish, meat, And then for vegans, they do get an adequate amount of L-lysine as it is from their diet, seeing as how majority of those foods there are vegan-friendly foods. Dairy, cottage cheese, yogurt, milk, fortified milks like almond milk may have some a good amount of calcium in them. Legumes like beans, kidney beans, black beans, peanuts, things like that. Those are going to have some calcium in them as well. Fish, I prefer salmon and tuna, but don't be afraid to get mahi mahi or even mako shark or some other type of seafood like that. If you are going to buy, say, a canned salmon or a canned fish of some sorts, I always generally buy canned salmon with the bones in it. I'm not afraid of the bones. They're very small, and when you are cooking them, they are going to disintegrate really. But the calcium from the bones is going to be in that product. So don't be afraid to get the bones in your canned salmon if you're going to make some canned some salmon burgers or something like that. Then meat, the same thing applies. You can get one with a bone in it, or cook your meat with the bone. It's going to absorb some of the properties from the bone that's in it. But then you're looking at also what the animal ate itself. So I'm a firm believer in what we're eating, looking at what those animals ate as well. Yes, grass-fed meat is always going to be more beneficial for you than something else that was fed corn or grain. But to be truly honest, a lot of those grass-fed meats were fed corn and wheat and all those other byproducts the last couple weeks of their life. So just keep that in mind. But generally, those are going to be your top food sources for L-Lysine as opposed to a supplement, or you can supplement with it. So just keep in mind that at least this bag, it is a 1 gram serving. And I'm going to pull the scoop out here for you. This is a 1 gram scoop. Okay, so don't just think 1 gram is a serving, and we're going to get that here, down below. I like supplementing with anywhere from 3 to 5 grams personally per day. I'll just add 5 of those 1 gram scoops into my drink that I drink during the day. A very high intake of L-Lysine has been shown to upset the stomach or cause diarrhea or bloating and cramps. So 15 to 40 grams. Now that's a lot. That's a lot of L-Lysine. So don't just supplement with that much L-Lysine, because if you are eating a large majority of these foods, 2 to 1, you are getting a hefty amount of L-Lysine. So if you are having stomach problems or cramps, after eating a lot of these dairy products or of these foods, kind of take that into consideration, just knowing what you know about L-Lysine. Why does it upset the stomach? That I don't truly know off of, from the research that I did. It's just a reaction that studies have seen as a result of that upward intake of L-Lysine. One unrelated, fitness benefit of L-Lysine, if you are someone that does get cold sores, or herpes, or is affected by herpes, or has had herpes, things like that. Believe it or not, a canker or a cold sore is a form of herpes virus. But if you are prone to these things, 1 to 3 grams daily can actually limit the reoccurrences of that. So it's a completely unrelated fitness type fact, but keep in mind for health related purposes, it is a fact. So L-Lysine has been shown to do that. There have been studies. One of my clients who works in a lab, works with animals, they've actually used L-Lysine in looking at some of these other diseases, because that's just the type of work that she does. But so this is L-Lysine. As I said, we're going to be talking about some different supplements. So if you do have any supplements that you would like to know more about, I'm going to be doing a couple more that might be pretty common, some ones that you may not have heard of. I'm going to stay away from things like creatine that has been studied beyond belief. But at least for me, L-Lysine, before several months ago, I never really heard of it as its own standalone product. I never really researched it, but just stay tuned for some more of these videos coming your way. And as always, subscribe to the channel, put your comments in the comment section, let us know what you want to see. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to us on social media, at Dave Reinecke ATN. But as always, thank you guys for watching.